What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos, man. Yeah, doing a late one, man. I've been at it all day um, with this free agency. I want to give a shout out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball and boxing community. Um, I especially want to give a shout out to my subs that's been rocking with me for day one, and all of my subs that's here now, um, the new ones. And I also want to give a shout out to all of the brothers that's really been working hard covering this free agency thing. Really been giving their knowledge, their input, and also giving people a voice to voice their respected opinion. Shout out to the brother Ticket TV. Uh, Matter of fact, I think the homie is doing a live right now as we speak. Shout out to the brother Kareem, the Kareem Report. Definitely go sub to their channels. I also want to give a shout out to the Pull Up Podcast uh, with the brother BJ. He's been on it too, keeping a close eye uh, on everything. And the brother Town Biz, give him a shout out too. Um, and trying to think of some other guys that I saw that's been really staying on this free agency thing. The locker room, I gotta give him his props too. Locker room for staying close, uh, keeping a close eye on everything, and pretty much everybody, man, that's been on the grind, keeping a close eye on everything. I think the brother Brandon Love too, Brandon Love Sports too, been keeping an eye on everything. But um, man, for the most part, uh, this is what I feel. Um, Paul George, man, he's getting ready to. Most likely, he's going. Of course, there's other people that are going to be going after him, but most likely he gonna sign with us. Um, a lot of people were banking on the fact that he was gonna go to Golden State, but you automatically knew that wasn't gonna happen because the Clippers, they went ahead, they blocked everything. Okay, so but what I was trying to explain is that if they would have had a Paul George there, it wouldn't have worked. This right here is signing Paul George, man. Is not it's not gonna carry us where we need to go. Okay, I know everybody thinks I'm crazy for saying that, but it's not gonna carry us where we need to go. We gotta get younger and we gotta get healthier. You know what I'm saying? That's our primary problem. You know, uh, you signing Paul George, it doesn't do anything, but it gives you some added scoring, and it gives you a little bit more defense. But you gotta wonder, and you gotta hope and pray uh, to the Most High that this man doesn't get hurt and also shows up in the time necessary that he needs to show up. And I'm not just talking about crunch time in the regular season. I'm talking about him showing up, during the playoffs. That's what we need to see. Look, man, I got a respect for Paul George, man. That's really out of this world. Um, I think he is he's an all world talent, especially when he's healthy. Before he suffers before he suffered that devastating injury. Man, I'm telling you, man, Paul George was his 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 career, man, was sky's the limit. But like I said, and I'll repeat what I said earlier, okay, and I stand by what I say. I know some people don't like this, but I stand by what I say. Paul George, uh, he needs to be on a team that's already a well oiled machine. That's what he needs to be on right now because his best years are behind him. It's like he's coming in, he's doing the same thing every single year. Ever since he left, with the exception, to a certain extent, with the exception of OKC, and you know that a couple years that he's been with the Clippers and everything. Besides that, it's been the same thing every year. And that year, the years when he was in Indiana, it's been the same thing every year. And I know Clippers fans is mad, man. They heated right now. But if if you're Clippers fans, um, you know, y'all y'all got Russell Westbrook back, and you got James Harden back. Okay, now you got to wonder about James Harden. I think James Harden actually wanted this. I think James Harden wanted Paul George to leave. You know what I'm saying? So that could open up things for him. I think that that's what he wanted truly. Uh, from the bottom of my heart, man, I really feel like that's what he wanted. He wanted Paul George to leave so that he could go ahead and he could have somewhat of control to do what was necessary so that it can open up the scoring for him. And then also with Paul George leaving, that opens up things for Russell Westbrook now. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go ahead, he gonna stay, so he gonna go ahead and he gonna get back, starting again. You know, but I know besides that, I know Clippers fans are mad. I know they heated, but I'm like, well, you really, yeah, you lost scoring, and you lost a guy that could defend and everything, but at the same time, it's not like you lost um, a guy that was so consistent out of this world because he could be inconsistent at times, and then towards the end of games and stuff, and when you needed him the most at times and stuff like that. That's what I was talking about. But in terms of his talent and stuff like that, like I said, it don't. You could be talented it all day, but if you don't have that winner's presence, that championship presence, you're no good for it. See, in Indiana, and when he was playing for Indiana, and to a certain degree, OKC, and then of course, like I said, a couple of years with the Clippers. That season, he was, I think it was the season before last when they were talking about the MVP. Man, Paul George, that was the Paul George that I knew. Now he gonna go to the same. He gonna go to another team and do the same old routine. I guarantee you. But 9 times out of 10, people ain't gonna come on here because they gonna say, "Oh yeah," they don't want to admit when they wrong. They don't want to admit when they wrong. Like if you tell somebody that a guy is not beneficial for your squad, it's the reason why I'm saying that. It's not the hate or anything. I don't feel like right now at the small forward position we need somebody that's really durable. We don't need nobody that's inconsistent. That's what That's why Tobias Harris. That was our issue with Tobias Harris. He's a roller coaster. He's a roller coaster guy, man. One he up, but one he down. One he up, one he down. And listen, you talking to a guy that like Tobias Harris. It's no knock on Tobias Harris. Okay, it's no knock on him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he wasn't consistent. Paul George, he's not consistent. You see what happened to Tobias Harris when he was in the playoffs. Man, you couldn't depend on him, especially in the New York series. Man, bro, he was you didn't know what was up with him. You know, I'm like, do you got some personal issues that's going on, outside of the court, and you bring that on here or something? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you do what is necessary every other game. So with Paul George, I don't think I really don't think it gets us to the level that we need to be at. Now, I do believe it or not, I like Andre Drummond going there. You know what I'm saying? What's up with it? Okay, if Paul George and MB don't win a chip in the next 2 years, do you think the Sixers would trade? Man, we need to get rid of him now, but we don't have that. Like, we got, I mean, us, us getting, clearing out some space and everything, 808, that allowed us to increase the cap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. We gave Maxey his money, which he deserved. You know what I'm saying? We gave Maxey his money, and then of course we got Drummond. You know, but you got to understand that's 140. That's 146 million you talking about there, 808. When you talk about MB, like, and somebody gonna have to take on that. You know what I'm saying? If we got to find that, and listen, teams are willing to get him. They're gonna get Embiid because of his presence. He's a big body and everything like that. But you got to wonder if this guy going, if can he sustain? Is he going? Does he have? Can he maintain what he's doing throughout the regular season in terms of health? And that's the knock on Embiid. You got to wonder if because that'd be pretty much you buying somebody else's problems. You understand what I'm saying, bro? So I feel like you should have got rid of, like, for real. I'm like, go ahead and start over. You better off. Listen, you better off going ahead, starting over, and starting a whole nother culture, and ushering in the Maxi era. That's what needs to happen. But nah, you want to stay. You want to stay with a guy. You want to stay with a guy that can't stay healthy. That's always less than 100%. Yeah, you're a great player during the regular season and everything, but then you ducking and dodging, your foes like Jokic. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see none of that, man. Listen, bro, if you're gonna get out there, you're gonna play. Go ahead and play. But like I said, keep it consistent. Rarely do you see guys that are consistent anymore. You know what I'm saying? But Embiid, it's always been. I'll say this: if if Embiid plays an entire season and doesn't have any issues with his health, we can have a big chance. But then it's going to depend on if he can show up in the actual playoff. Other than that, I don't see us going nowhere. Not with Embiid. I'm gonna say that time and time again. And he's a great scorer. Can you imagine the NBA gets Sixers for tampering with Paul George? Remember in the NBA Finals, Embiid was giving hints that he wanted PG to the Sixers. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've gotten in, we got in trouble for that too. Uh, when it came to Harden, we got in trouble with that too. Well, I think it was nah, not I think it was Harden. It was somebody else that we got in trouble with too for tampering too. I can't think right off the top of my head right now. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, and you want Paul George that bad, man? Dog, you should have been trying to go for man Paul George, because Paul George he gonna want the ball. He gonna want to get his shots. And Nick Nurse, man, Nick Nurse ain't for that shit. Nick Nurse is gonna hold you accountable. That's why I like Nick Nurse. He holds Embiid accountable. He holds guys accountable. I know y'all think Nick Nurse is like not a good coach, and he only he got lucky with that ring and all that other stuff. Nah, Nick Nurse can coach his ass off, man. I only had maybe one or two times when I questioned Nick Nurse. Other than that, man, he did a great job with his adjustments. Yeah, I know y'all don't want to hear that. But it is what it is. I gotta keep it funky, man. You know, I'm just being honest. And people wanna sit up here and dismiss the fact that this guy hasn't gotten out to the second round. When we talk about Embiid, they don't want to talk about that, but it needs to be talked about. As a Sixers fan, I'm ready to move up. Can we get to at least a Eastern Conference final? Can we get to one at least? I mean, we got Andre Drummond, but even with that, man, yeah, everybody was cheering that on. I'm like, man, it's like we always going backwards. Can we go forward? Like, man, I'm ready. Shoot. Oh, man. I'm telling you, man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating as a Sixers fan. If you're a real Sixers fan, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, man. But I'm I'm quite sure that Daryl Morey, he's willing to pull the trigger. He's willing to throw. He's willing to do everything that he can um, to convince Paul George to come here. He's already like you said, Mr. 808. Um, he's flirted with the idea of playing with Embiid, which like I said, you do all that. You did the same thing with Harden. Embiid did the same thing with Harden. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great playing with Harden. And guess what? That shit ain't work out. And it's gonna be the same thing with Paul George. Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah. From the outside looking in, like outside the box, it looked good. You know what I'm saying? You like, dang man, Embiid can hoop. He could do this, and Embiid probably saying the same thing about Paul George. Yeah, I love to hoop with that guy and stuff like that. But then guess what? Y'all get on the court with one another, things don't go right. Then guess what? Y'all ain't got no continuity no more. Y'all ain't got no chemistry no more. Y'all y'all went from laughing it up, chilling, you know what I'm saying, dapping it up and everything, to y'all barely even talking once y'all get in a point midway in the season. That's what's gonna end up happening. I'm telling you. Like, it's all good, but then you start, until you really start playing with that guy, and you start realizing, you like, what? Man, this ain't what I signed up for. And that's what's gonna end up happening. And it happened with Harden. Everybody was automatically saying, "Oh yeah," when Harden came to the Sixers, they were like, "Oh yeah, James Harden, he gonna take y'all to the championship and all this." I was like, "All right, don't say I didn't warn you." And guess what? Look where we ended up. And he played horrible. He played horrible in the playoffs. Now he did have some good games where he did show up. You know what I'm saying? But then there were some games where he played terrible, especially that last game that he played the season before last when he was with the Sixers. Go look it up. Played horrible, man. And that's what I'm saying. He was just, he had ran his course, especially with Doc Rivers. But this was, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk about Detroit. Now I know nobody's really talking about this. Detroit, Detroit right now, they're on the come up. Now I'm not gonna put them quite. And when we talk about young teams, I'm not gonna quite put them up there. You know what I'm saying with the Houston Rockets, and you know I'm talking about teams that got something brewing, something that's cooking right now. Where they in the lab and you really see uh, some some good things that's gonna happen in the near future. They got JB Bickerstaff, they got Kay Cunningham, and they got Tim Hardaway Jr. And of course, you know what I'm saying, they got they I would say they did really good in the draft. Detroit is on the come up right now. Now, they could play this thing right. Kay Cunningham is back, you know what I'm saying? He said he's not leaving Detroit. And that's what you want. I respect Kay Cunningham. Now, I don't want Kay Cunningham to experience nothing to where he's like he's at the point where okay, he ends up being like a Mitch Richmond back in the days or something like that. I don't want him going through that. You know what I'm saying? But I want Kate Cunningham to to have a decent career, and I want him to win. You know what I'm saying? I really want him to win, and I want him to be solid because the guy works hard, man. And he got youth on his side. You don't want to waste your good years, like when it came to Dame. I mean, Dame was close and everything, but he never just got over that hump. He never was able to bring that chip to Portland. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Kate Cunningham to be even worse, where he's going losing season after losing season after losing season, like a guy like Mitch Richmond. I'm trying to think of some other guys. Man, uh, man, who was that guy? Man, he always, man, it was like you never heard from, like, okay, like with Kevin Love. You know what I'm saying? Like with Kevin Love with the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? It was like you wasted all your prime years and you never was able to win. And I don't want that to happen with Kate Cunningham, but I see that he's willing. He wants to be with Detroit. You know what I'm saying? They got a new coach in JB Bickerstaff. I think that JB Bickerstaff, he gonna turn things around. He gonna turn things around. Watch. I know everybody looking at Detroit like, yeah, whatever. Detroit, man, nah, Detroit is on the come up, man. They on the come up for real. Um, and then with the Warriors, let me say this about the Warriors, man. I'll say it again. I appreciate Warriors culture. I said that before. I said that earlier. But I'm gonna tell you like this, man. The Warriors, man, they need they need Bob Myers back, man. I, I'm just being real. Like the way that they treated Clay, man, was very disrespectful. You should be doing everything in your power that you can, or should have been doing everything in your power that you could to to keep a guy like Clay there, who is one of the faces of that franchise, um who helped put banners there, who is regarded as one of the best shooters ever to grace the court. But instead, y'all are looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, he didn't have the best season. He's had injuries, significant injuries. He worked back to get back to where they was and everything. You stuck with a lot of guys. Y'all stuck with Steph. Listen, if we want to go by that logic, if we want to sit up here and they want to look at Clay like they're looking at him now. As much as I love Steph Curry, okay, as much as I love Steph Curry, man, Steph Curry went through trials and tribulation when he first got into the league. He also went through trials and tribulation throughout his career. He was hurt a lot. Yeah, I know he was balling, he was hooping and doing all this other stuff, unanimous MVP, stuff like that. But let's not forget Steph Curry, man, when he first got into the league, he was hurt all the time. Ankle injury, ankle after ankle after ankle injury. Okay? But y'all didn't give up on him. And then on top of that, I mean, you know, hey, Draymond, come on, man. Like, y'all didn't give up on Draymond like that. And Draymond been, he ran off he ran off Jordan Poole, ran off KD. You know what I'm saying? At times he was sitting up there um causing causing a whole bunch of ruckus and stuff like that, doing his little antics and stuff like that. The dirty plays or whatever, which I mean, I don't if we're looking at it over the course of NBA history, I don't really put Draymond as the one of the dirtiest players ever, nothing like that. But I mean, it was a distraction. But y'all didn't give up on him. The way he was going at Kerr, the way he was going at our various teammates, stuff like that. I mean, y'all didn't give up on him, but you want to give up on a guy who you know is a leader, who you know has been there who you know has been there when other guys haven't been able to step up. And that's why, like, I don't know why people think, oh, well, nobody gonna snag Clay. Yeah, right. You out your mind. So trust and believe somebody want Clay. Somebody wants Clay. They want to get their hands on Clay so that they can go ahead and he could be just that extra added piece. Doesn't complain. He don't need the ball in his hand all the daggone time. You know what I'm saying? He's a catch and shoot player. He could defend when necessary. Man, if I'm Clay, I'm signing with whoever, and immediately I'm like damn Bronny James. I'm in the Bronny James. He right to work right after the draft. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. You might have listen. You might have added some fuel to the fire. That people think that Clay is done. Watch when I tell you, man. Clay gonna wreak havoc, and I feel sorry for the ones they gotta play against Clay. But hey, I wasn't gonna stay on here too long, man. I just want to speak my piece on that, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too, and tell them, man, it's straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire Lions Den, basketball and boxing communities. Till then, man, I'm out.